involved. Plus,
we're not going to have growth unless
Economics
we cut.
101, cutting doesn't produce growth. Econ 101.
ladies, we are going to have to see.
Econ 101 spending doesn't produce growth.
But you're still a great date.
God, look, this TV date went south really fast, ladies. What happened? We started off so well. They are back to today after Monday's showdown. The post-State of the Union fireworks coming up next. Reunited and it feels so good. This is MSNBC, the place for politics. So, Luke, thanks so much. Talk to you again soon. All right, so the speech is over, and now President Obama is selling his mandate. Here to weigh in on where the White House and the Congress go from here, Princella Smith, Republican strategist, and Joy-Ann Reid with the Reid Report. She's also a columnist with the Miami Herald, and we're bringing the ladies back together to talk. We had a great talk on Monday, and it's good to have you back with me. I want to begin, though, with this. We noted that we saw the term innovation used multiple times in the speech last night. Take a listen to this, and I'm going to ask you on the other side what you think it means.
First step in winning the future is encouraging American innovation. In America, innovation doesn't just change our lives. Our free enterprise system is what drives innovation. We unleashed a wave of innovation. We need to get behind this innovation. If we want innovation to produce jobs in America, all these investments in innovation, education.
Princella, are we supposed to be the innovation nation now, or what?
Well, I said previously that he would use words like that, and he also, obviously no one's against improving our education system, but President Obama also used terms about increasing spending for high-speed rail projects, and so a lot of the times he kind of used these words and he cloaked it into sounding so wonderful, but really it's just another repackaged form of a stimulus, and I think we saw over the past couple of years that this excessive spending does not create jobs. So, you mentioned earlier that people's response to the speech was, it was okay. That's because that's about what it was. Okay, we'll see when the president introduces his budget in a few weeks. We'll see how serious he is about cutting spending and about making sure that we're doing the right things to create jobs, not just these cloaked, flowery words that really don't have that much backing.
Joy-Ann, let's get into that. How can we explain this innovation translating for 15 million unemployed Americans? What does that mean for people at home that are saying, hey, I want to get back to work?
Right. Well, I think what's interesting is that the president used a term that's very common in business, in corporate boardrooms, innovation, investments, and he really spoke the language of business, which I thought was interesting. I listened to My Morning Joe, and Aaron Burnett this morning was saying that business really loved the speech. They thought it was more than just okay, because he was really talking about the things that produce jobs, and innovation is one of them. I think what the president did last night was that he kind of boxed Republicans in, because they too understand that in order to grow the economy, you have to allow business to innovate. That means R&D, which is something that business really loves, being able to write off research and development. It means fixing corporate tax policy. It means fixing personal income tax policy. All of these are things that are good buzzwords for business, and when business is happy, business will get off some of that money they're sitting on and start to create jobs.
All right, I want to jump over to the Republican response. In Princella, we saw Representative Paul Ryan giving the Republican response, but did he offer any concrete solutions to the unemployment issue? How does cutting the federal spending help 15 million Americans out there that are saying, where's my job? I want to get back to work?
Well, look, again, like I just said, we just did a heck of a lot of spending over the past 2 years, and they haven't created a single job. I think Congressman Ryan did a great job. He sounded very practical. It was one of the best Republican responses we've had for a while. And back to what my friend Ms. Reid was alluding, if we really want to create a business-friendly environment and bring back more jobs, we need to do things specifically that I didn't hear, like eliminate the capital gains tax and create a more friendly environment in this country and encourage businesses to keep jobs here. If we find a way to control the debt, we will send a message to the international community at large, as well as within the United States, that we're serious about controlling the debt. So it's more than just about a Republican versus Democrat and who's using the right buzzwords. It's really seriously getting specific about creating jobs and reducing spending. And so I think Congressman Ryan did a fantastic job.
Ladies, I want to ask you though, when it comes to our country and our party system, Joy-Ann, do we have a three-party system now? We've got the Democrats, the Republicans, and then there was the Tea Party giving its response. Does this just say the conservatives are confused?
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting that the Republicans really sort of lost control of their rebuttal, because you had Paul Ryan giving sort of this dour kind of, he reminded me sort of an IRS agent kind of auditing the nation and just saying, you know, everything is bad. It was very negative. It wasn't very hopeful. But then right behind him came this really rather bizarre response from Michelle Bachmann. She kind of went rogue. So when you have two different voices that are speaking really for the Republican Party, I think it's a confusing message, I suppose, for their base. But Democrats couldn't have been more unified. So I think, yeah, I think in a way you have 2.5 parties, because the Tea Party movement is part of the Republican Party, but it's the part that's dragging the Republican Party away from the kind of hopeful Reagan-esque message that Barack Obama actually presented last night.
Princella, what do you think about that? I mean, is the conservative side, the Republican side, divided? Because, you know, and we have to talk about the fact there was the blurring of the aisle with people sitting together, and then we get these two responses from the Republican Party and then from Michelle Bachmann representing the Tea Party.
I think the liberals' channel on television is TNT because they know drama. And I love how they love to split the Republican Party.
The Republicans are providing the drama. Princella, they're providing the drama. They show up. I mean, they're giving it to you. Michelle Bachmann doesn't look in the camera. She's looking over here.
Hey,
I mean, come on.
I love you. I love you both. And look, Michelle Bachmann needed to, I don't know, whoever did her setup, it was awful. Her speech was fine, but the setup was awful. Listen, the Republican Party welcomes people of various viewpoints, whether or not the media likes to say that we do or not. We have some that are more conservative than others, and the Tea Partiers swept in, okay, a majority Republican Congress this time. It still all favored the Republican Party, so we welcome various voices. It doesn't mean everyone's going to agree on everything, but that's fine. That's the great part about America. But look, I will see the point that whoever was doing the camera, I don't know what happened there.
Well, I'm glad that all three of us
make sure that you welcome.
What's that?
I was just going to say, just make sure that everyone in your caucus is on the mothership, because I'm not sure that Michelle Bachmann was last night. But Saturday Night Live is well set up for Saturday, because it was bizarre.
Was that your last dig at me? Well, and make sure that President Obama is more friendly to Republicans this time too.
Well,
because you know he says he wants bipartisanship, but he didn't talk to them until the health care bill rolled around.
What is it with you two? You save it till the very end. You did this to me on Monday. Now you're doing it to me at the end. I try to go to. So the nation's terror alert system.